Technology is always a part of human lives, and we see a rapid improvement in the same. In this 20th century, the leading industry of gaming and animation is now overwhelming the movie and IT sector alone. But sadly, India, with the world's number 2 largest population, this sector is not used to its full potential. For example, virtual reality, its application is countless from military to entertainment. VR has even proved useful in the world of architecture and the education sector. My point is that all these kinds of innovations came with necessity, but the gaming, animation and media sector will have high influence even today. Gaming is considered taboo in many households in India, where the only difference between watching the movie and playing a game is control. That being said, it is a vital task to restore the viewers on the assets of the industry. To counter these facts, introduction of a facility which will integrate a highly focused media, animation and gaming institute within a support system of learning, collaboration, entertainment and professional exposure will prove to be an asset for the nation. The opportunities for this project is immense and pave a new way for helping in promoting animation gaming industry through educational and entertainment. The project demands attention and development, and a feasible site should have a good connectivity, a well-related context, as well as the required services. A planned city of the west coast of Indian state of Maharashtra, a city divided into two parts for industrial development of the Panvel megacity, Navi, Mumbai. The site is located in the north Navi, Mumbai, Juhi Nagar. Two main railway stations within 1 kilometer radius, and one of them being in connection with CST International Airport. The site is separated by a national highway from residential side, and the northern side contains industrial areas soon to be demolished into IT parks, and the east side offers recreational refuge. The proposed project is a combination of media, animation and gaming institute with supporting programs like game development offices and with provisions for esports, tournaments and entertainment zones like virtual reality, first-person view drone racing arena, and also to include a physical factor, a paintball arena. The zoning of the site should be done in such a way that the site shall be responsive to the context as well as to be able to function without interrupting any of the trios. And by trios I mean education, entertainment and profession. These three are the core of the design, and by considering the vision, the trios should be connected in a way that the three of them can interact or collaborate with each other in a way that the three of them should not affect the functionality of each other. That is, a proper definition should be there for the design. Introducing public is one thing, but to make them stay inside is another trick entirely. In my visits to Mumbai, I saw a lot of business class men, working class, choking into metros, cramping into tiny spaces to reach their working spaces. And I noticed that the evening rush is comparatively lesser to the morning rush. The only breathing space they get are spent in the few greeneries. This can be used as an opportunity to bring in more people into the site by contributing to the culinary arts of Mumbai and also to the greenery. Now coming on to the design, starting from entries and exits, the Institute, Game Development Center and the stadium have separate entry exits with 2 additional entry exits at the east and west side for servicing. The northern entry responds to the site by opening to a public park, which then splits into 3 directions. When looking up at the northern side of the design, the institute is located on the west and the office to the east, with a restaurant in the middle. In the southern part of the design, the southern access point to the site leads directly into the esports stadium, which have drone racing arena in the west and training center to the east. Additionally, in the middle of the site lies the amphi and virtual reality entertainment buildings supported with a paintball arena. The bulk of the design are the Institute and Game Development Center. The entry of both leads into administration blocks. Both have separate entry, and both of them leads into their respective administrative blocks, with the main services located south of the admin blocks. The open space between these 2 blocks are connected by the northern public entry. The restaurant in the middle is divided by a large staircase that connects the northern public park to the central amphi and VR zones. The advantages are an open staircase which leads into the unknown is always a curiosity for the people. Also, the wind speed at that heights will be highest, which is a bit adventurous, and it will be the second highest point on the site where the public have access to. Now, the large open spaces have the potential to conduct massive gathering events like Comic-Con India or Gimmer Connects and so on. Also, it is easier to control the flow of the people into these areas at these times with the choke points, the 4 corners of the restaurant. The service blocks also contain massive service-oriented functional spaces, a media set on the left and a motion capture studio on the right. Moving on to the first floor, the institute demands large open spaces and high ventilated spaces for outdoor activities, thus have larger openings, which I will be explaining through sections. The space where the restaurant stood is a collaborative working zone for the students and for the professionals at the office, where they can develop their design and other activities. The classrooms are oriented to face each other and have exits which lead into common halls. Now moving on to the office side, there are few open to sky areas and is focused mainly on artificial ventilation. The floor copes for massive gathering meetings and conferences. Moving on to the second floor, the office and the institute fuses together to form a single entity. This floor harbors fewer classrooms and is focused on having multifunctional working spaces, studios and libraries. The main ideology of this floor is to promote cooperative study and to increase the exposure of students to these professional counterparts. There are also two arms stretching from the main plan which form up to be two auditoriums with one side cantilevered. The third floor is also a collaborative working floor with a large open to the sky rooftop. The rooftop can be accessed 24/7 and can be used as working spaces. The floor is dedicated to nomadic workers who work better when sat solo. The two bean-shaped plan forms the Cyber Twin Tower with 7 floors, and in the top floor being a recreational area with a rooftop garden with glass-bottomed pool. The section AA cuts through the center staircase between the restaurant. In this section, we can view the amphi and the concealed service areas for the virtual reality entertainment centers in the basement to vehicular access. The section BB is taken to large open spaces which can be used as a temporary food streets or as a space for coping up with large cultural technological events. The first 3 floors of the Twin Tower are given for startups with a main game development center on the highest floor. The topmost floor and the rooftop is dedicated to recreational spaces. Section CC and DD. These sections are taken through the office part of the design. As we can see, there are more spaces oriented to the interiors with fewer open to sky regions, as most of the function demands it. The section EE cuts through the auditorium and the large motion capture studio. In section FF and GG is taken through the institute part of the design. Here we can see large open to sky spaces and openings for ventilation, and is designed in a way that all the corridors are placed in the southern side of the design. The entertainment facilities are based on the southern half of the site. Looking at the stadium, it has entrances to the north and south, with northern one opening into the Viha Center and to the middle of the site. For security reason, another passage is provided for VIPs, which is located at the eastern side of the stadium. The passage leads into training center which can harbor the VIP for events and tournaments. Going on into the planning, the ground floor of the stadium can be divided concentrically with the outer circle being the public zone, the middle zone which is a supporting zone for the on-stage functions like production, telecast, lighting, sound, etc., and the inner circle being the main stage. The supporting area is connected to the main service area located below in the basement. The central area is the main stage, which can only be accessed by passing through the security checkpoints. VIPs can enter this main stage by the outer connection passage with the training center. The floor also has 4 staircases and a pair of 3 lifts on the northern side. The training center is an area which supports and promotes esports. It harbors professional or talented players within the country and gives them the equipment and training routines to become the world champions. The ground floor of the training center is mainly managerial and administrative areas with conference rooms and cafeterias. The first floor plan shows the seating space with a capacity of 600 people. The floor is connected with the training center. The first floor of the training center has spaces for accommodation of the VIPs, spaces for practice for the professionals, and a medical room and some managerial rooms. The connecting passage leads right into a large lobby in the training center. Onto the second floor of the stadium, an additional seating capacity of 1000 persons is added. There is also an overhanging balcony which connects with the first floor where the public can view the entire site. These are the main cross sections for the esports stadium. Above the main stage is a screen for viewing the scores and the gameplays of the tournament and events. The outer public area or the lobby zone contains shopping spaces, cafes and small gaming zones. The inner service zones are situated below the seating spaces, and the main service area is right below the main stage. In the top section, we can also see the passage entrance from the training center. The section on the bottom views the basement vehicular connection to the service below the main stage. It also shows the main entrance to the north and south, and the highest point the public can access on the side, the balcony. The first person view drone racing arena, or FPV drone racing. It's a type of racing where we use virtual reality goggles to fly the drone. The pilot who flies the drone uses these special virtual reality goggles with one of the extended attached to the camera. The pilot controls the drone through a special pilot zone in the arena. The seating capacity of the arena is 300. The arena also has rooms for training for the controlling of drones. It also has admin rooms. At the entrance is the huge lobby, which is divided into two. A public space for the visitors and viewers, and a private for the VIPs and staff. The public route leads into the shops and the seating areas. The arena can be used as a multi-purpose station, which can be a large convention center or conference space. This can be achieved by using the hidden platform and using hydraulic power to move the platform onto the circuit. The section of the arena show large lobby spaces, the seating space, and the circuit track. This section also shows the hidden platform, which can move by using the hydraulic force from the machine room below. Now, while giving a full body glass to a building, we need to consider the greenhouse effect. This is tackled by using a special industrial sponge aerosol. This material is stuffed as a sandwich between two glass panels. The constituency of aerosol is that it is 95% of air and 5% gel. It acts as an insulator and prevents lights from entering, and is basically a porous gel. This section of the training center is to show the lobby spaces, the admin areas, and the recreational area on the top side. Interactive architecture is a branch of architecture which deals with building featuring the trio of sensors, processors, and effectors. It contains building automation but goes beyond it by including forms of interactions, engagements, and response that may lay in pure communication purposes, as well as in the emotive and artistic realm, thus entry to the field of interactive art. It can include both interior and exterior elements. Some of the examples are Volume, a 2006 installation at London Victoria and Albert Museum. It is a series of light and sound columns that respond to human movement. The next is Underscan Public Art Project in England. The shadow of passerby reveals video of portrait animated on the ground. When passerby stood still, the portrait interacted with them. Now, in my design, Dancing Wall is an animated LED screen attached onto a wall connected by a series of cameras, which then shows the movement of passerby as a large silhouette in the wall. The another is camo ceiling. It is situated in the large open spaces, the atrium of the institute and office space. The function is that the ceiling have panels which project what's above the building, thus inducing a camouflage feeling to the building. The ceiling is powered by solar panel and can work both day and night. This ceiling is an example of interactive architecture where the architecture responds to the nature. Another is a hidden display on the amphitheater which only activates at night times. This can be interacted using application in your phone. The application can be used to control the screen, which can unlock games and hidden secrets. These are some of the views and videos of the design.